So I have lost a lot of friends over the last decade. You see, it is normal for a human being as they get older to understand who their true friends are. When I was young, I had a lot of friends. I counted people who were more like associates, people who I'd meet once a month maybe, still as friends. I still think these people were part of my network. And over time, what just happened was like a space shuttle going to space, right? It discards different parts of its body, different parts of its weight to get into orbit. So it's sort of the same way. And, I could say the easy way to say this was, hey, I outgrew my friends. But I don't think that's true. I think that almost everyone loses friends as they age. And in this video, I want to tell you why. And I also want to give you a warning. If you are young and you're looking at your friends and saying, hey, we're going to be friends for life, I want to give you a warning on that end. Let's get started. See, I personally believe that now that I've been through school, college, and work, in school, you make friends and you keep friends because school forces you to do that. It's not like they put you and the other person next to each other and say you have to be friends. But think about how you made your friends in the first place. Most of your friends, I'm not saying all of you, but most of you, are your benchmates. You met them somehow, right? And when you're in the same bench as other people, you don't have a choice but to talk to them. So in essence, school actually did put you together. It did force you to make a friendship. And it's not just making friendships, it's also keeping them. Because see, every morning at 8 a.m. you have to go to school. You have to see your friends every morning at 8 a.m. And you are there in school till like 4 or 5 in the evening. So you're constantly on an everyday chronic basis seeing these people. So you don't have a choice but to build a friendship and then go deeper along that track. And the same is true of college. It's very rare that you made friends with somebody because you got introduced. That can happen. But usually it's the people in your bench, right? Or the people in your class. And college has literally forced you to make friends with them. College forces you to stay friends with them because you have to come to college for that 75% attendance. Now, the minute you get out of college, the force stops. There is no force putting you together with another person and forcing you to make friends. You could say that, hey, a job forces you to do this, but a job really doesn't because people cycle in and out of jobs however they like. See, in a school, you can't keep shifting school every 6 months or every year. You can't do that. Even with college, once you join a college, it's very rare for you to leave that college and join another one, right? It's 4 years where you're stuck there. But with jobs, most people, in today's world stay like 6 months, a year in the job. So for most people who join a job for the first time, their friends are still their schoolmates and college mates. The only problem now is you need to plan out meetings. You need to call them and say, hey, let's meet this Saturday for 30 minutes. You need to drive an hour to get there, wherever you guys are meeting. And you need to have that dinner. And then you need to leave. You're meeting them once a week now, your school and college friends. And that takes 2 hours of effort. Eventually, you meet every alternate week because maybe one of the people is busy. And the same thing has happened to me. It's happened to my wife. It's happened to almost everyone I know in my age group. 28 to 30, everyone goes through this. You've lost the people who you once thought would be your allies through thick and thin. And you also realize something at this point, right? That you never really had a large circle of friends. You had a small circle of friends and a lot of associates. And the associates, you're not going to sit, plan a meeting, go out with them every Saturday. Very rarely, unless there's work. Unless there's an agenda, you're not going to meet random people. You have this small circle and now even you're losing them because you're now meeting them once a week and once in 2 weeks. So you never really had that larger circle in the first place. Then what eventually starts happening is a lot of your friends stay stuck in the past. Suppose you've got a job as a software developer and you're doing some crazy things with your life. You're going and speaking at conferences, let's assume. But your friends, well, maybe they're doing something completely different. Maybe one of your friends has become a wildlife activist. Another of your friends has moved town, right, and got a job somewhere else. Maybe he's gone to Delhi and he's doing something there. It just breaks down. Entropy happens and you outgrow them, not in the sense that you are there and they are here. It could be that you guys have just gotten wider. You've outgrown them like this in terms of width rather than, like this. So you might have nothing to talk with them about. Your jobs are completely different. What interests you are completely different. And the minute you get out of college, you actually pack on real interests. Because now your job, now nobody's telling you ki, yaar beta college finish kar lo, fir, you can have fun. No one's telling you that because now it's the fun area, right? So you pick on interests because I'm going to do this for the next 90 years. So I might as well, have some fun. And your friends also think like that, but they might not pick up the same interest that you did. I also believe that, there's this innate need, just like Sims. I don't know if you played Sims, the game. There is a socialization need in human beings. You need to socialize once in a while and you feel better. If you don't do that, you feel down, right? We need social contact. We are a social creature. When you get married, and this was true in my case, I used to feel lonely, sure, once in a while, and I had friends, and I'd meet them and I'd feel better, right? And then eventually I started living with people, and when I was living with people, whenever I'd feel lonely, I'd go down, talk to them, or I'd go to their rooms and talk to them, and they'll be fine. But the minute I got married and I got a companion, that need or that urge of loneliness went away. It disappeared. Because I now had a companion, and my companion had me. So now I need not go out, travel 2 hours for that 30-minute planned meeting. Because I have someone who's alleviating this need from me. Right? So your friends are going to get married as well. Even if you don't decide to get married, your friends are going to get married. That causes even further drift. This is also the main reason I really suggest people to marry their best friend. Or at least be very good friends with who you marry. You shouldn't marry someone that's very good looking or very rich just for those attributes, because you will feel very lonely. Your friends will be married and you'll be with somebody and you have no context or no conversation with that person. So it's going to be very challenging for you because your friends are not going to be available for you to meet. They're busy. They've married their friends. So I always suggest you marry your friends. And you also realize the value of having people you can call when you're sick. If you're sick, you want to have somebody you can call and say, hey, can you help me? Instead of just having friends who, want to go to Goa and nothing else. So you also prioritize that, understanding that as you age, people close by who you can call in an emergency and vice versa. And not just, road Romeos. And as you get older, your family contacts start increasing. Some of you might have kids, but your casual contacts decrease. Finally, and this is something that's happened to me, right? As you get older, your battery drains. When you're young, you have a lot of tolerance for bullshit. So I do not have time for toxic, draining friendships. I have no time to, help people become the best version of themselves at this point in my life, right? The people who I spent that time and energy on, I'm still very good friends with them. But I can't make any new ones now. It's very challenging. And I want to be friends with optimistic people who don't drain my battery, right? So you will throw out the pessimistic and toxic friends that you have. If not now, then later. So why not now? That's it for me. Remember that the friends you have today might be friends of convenience and friends because you're forced to, and not really friends because you chose them. So remember, what happens in a decade will be a result of the decisions you make now. Bye.